What's up, guys? Welcome back to Alex Fishing. Today I just want to share with you my top 5 baits for fishing the spawn. So, I have a couple baits that I like to throw in the spawn, and this year is my first year that I basically tried to really fish the spawn. Didn't really fish it last year. I fished a little bit. I didn't really fish because I didn't ride my bike that much to the lake last year. But now I fished the spawn a couple times. Not a couple, probably 6 to 8 times so far. And here's what I found worked. It's pretty tough to catch bass in the spawn. They're really stubborn because they're just guarding their eggs. They're not trying to get food. They're not trying to hunt. But it is possible to catch them. Now, you have to be very patient in the spawn. You can't go out there and just cast and expect to catch fish. Like the pre-spawn, I like the pre-spawn a lot more than the spawn. But the spawn, you can see the fish and it's good for sight fishing. However, I do not sight fish during the spawn because for me it seems I see a bass on a bed and I pigeon, it will not touch it. But if I cast in that area, the general area that I don't see fish, I'll usually get a hit and usually a fish. So let's start. This is from my best to my worst top 5 baits. Even though these ones still work good, these ones are my best working ones. Here we have just a tube jig. The body is approximately 2.5 inches or so. It's in one side is just a black, and the other side is a clear with a gold flake. Now it was mixed with some other plastics, so it's kind of turned a tiny bit pink. But as you can see, some of these the skirt is a little bit shortened, and basically a little under half of the skirt is off because I got hit on this so many times. It works amazing. So what I do is I take just a 3-dot EWG hook, thick wire. I like the thicker wire because they tend to not bend or anything. I just go up to the barb. I don't like to go up to the bend because up to the bend is a lot longer than from there to there. Just simply go up to the barb, poke it out the side, bring it around, and weightless Texas rig this lure. See, but I leave it open like that because I found even if I skin hook it, I'm not getting near as much fish in as I do get the strikes. So I like to leave it just like this. As you can see, the hook is basically concealed a little bit. It's not going to get, if there's just a little bit of weeds right here, it's not going to get snagged up on those. It's just brushing by. If it's pushing against, then yeah, it'll get snagged up. But you can maybe barely skin hook it like that maybe. But I just like to do the weightless Texas rig. Now I do use a swivel, a snap swivel. So that might add a little weight. If you don't use the snap swivel, if you direct tie, you might want to add a little bitty split shot. But other than that, it worked good. That's number 1. Oops. My second most favorite bait for the spawn is the baby brush hogs. This is the Zoom baby brush hog in bullfrog color. Now I just had one baby brush hog in pumpkin seed, in simple. It was a baby brush hog in just the simple pumpkin color, and I had about 10 strikes on that. Caught about 3 fish on it before I lost it. So the pumpkin color does work good. I just got these 2 days ago. I haven't tested them yet, but they're pretty much the same color. It's a little bit darker. There's also light side, so I think this will work really good. Again, weightless on the Texas rig. I'm not going to explain that, I already did, but just weightless, cast it in. I find that casting this on their beds does not work as good as casting the tube jig on their beds because the tube jig is a lot shorter. This is a lot longer, and so the hook has only come to, right here. So, if the bass usually just bite the end of it and pull it off the bed, they don't really actually try to attack it, but if they do, it'll catch fish. So I just like to cast, if there's a shallow area, I'll stand way over here and I'll cast across the shallow area and I'll slowly reel it in a few inches above the ground. And usually I get a bunch of hits. Alright, next in line is jigs and bladed jigs, or bladed swim jigs. Now, Here I have just a simple bladed swim jig with a crawl trailer. I should use a swim bait trailer, but I left the crawl this time of year because it works better, and plus this fits the color of the jig. This is just like a fish type. I usually like the black or the silver, but this is all I have right now. And I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, I have an actual trailer hook on a swim jig, on a bladed swim jig. And so it goes, and this right here is just a little tube bait, is all it is, like a tube bait crawl. So I put it through the tube, and then I like bend it up like this, and it's around the hook, so it's not going to, it's attached to this hook. So I like this. I like the extra hook right here because the trailer hook, just because it's far back there, so if the bass just decides to try to grab it and pull it off the bed, it'll still get hooked. Now you throw that around probably larger bass's beds, like 3 pounders and more. Under 3 pounds, you probably want to use a smaller type, just a normal jig. I just have the 2 curly tails at the end. I like them being like a little bit brighter right now because it just stands out a little bit better. It's just a little jig. Alright, number 4 is a little curl tail grub. This is a 5-inch curl tail grub XPS in milky salt and pepper. These work really good. I like the Texas ring, but as you can see, the 3/0 hook is just a tad too big. So I like to downsize it to maybe a 2/0 or even a 1/0. But I throw these weightless as well. These ones sink a little like the same as this weightless, even with a smaller hook. So I'll throw it in, let it sink to the beds, and I'll just basically drag it along a ton of beds. If there's like 3 or 4 beds in a row, I'll just throw it to one, and I'll drag, hop, skip, swim it over all those beds multiple times, and I'll get a bunch of hits and catch some fish. Now you will catch some warmouth and stuff. I catch like little warmouths, and not little, but like 6 to 8 inch little warmouths on these because they love them. And these tails will get torn up, so if you can get some Z-Man ones instead of the XPS, they'll be super stretchy and they won't break near as much. And finally, number 5 is a beaver bait. This is the tournament Bass Pro Shops XPS Tournament Series beaver style bait. That's just it right there. I think the color is watermelon orange flake. There it is. Again, Texas rig. Demonstrate that on this one. All I do, I just poke it up to the barb. It's all I do. Maybe a little bit past that. Bring it around. And measure where it goes down there. Pull it up. Push it through the bait. And there you go. Yeah, the Texas rig. And now what I like to do, I like to either put a small split shot on, or if I can, a little bullet weight, because then it just makes this like glide down basically in the water. Sometimes I'll throw this weightless. It just depends on the situation. Like if I'm fishing deep water, I'll probably just use a like deep water where I cannot see the bass's beds, but I know they're there because I've seen them swimming up to the top and stuff. I'll throw it weightless because I can just throw it. It'll glide down there, and I don't really need to be that accurate. It'll just glide, and then I can twist it up and it'll glide around. But if I sight fishing for the bass on their beds, I'll throw a little Texas rig with a little bolt weight or split shot, and that way I can swim it straight down to where I want it, get more accuracy. And I can hop in along, and these little claws wave around. I almost caught like a 5-pounder on one of these, but he just bit the end and stuff. Anyway, those are my top 5 baits for fishing the spawn for bass. So let's go over it again. Tube jig, I like the darker colors with the brighter flakes. Lighter colored baby brush hogs. Bladed swim jigs or normal jigs. Larger style grubs, lighter colors. And in between the light and colors, not too dark, not too light, beaver baits. And so yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Good luck in fishing the spawn. Hopefully you guys learned from this video. And as always, catch you later.